Hey friends, it's Charles here with another edition of What Am I Reading? Where I go through kind of an informal glance at what I've been reading. Tonight I got through 6 books. The First Americans is a very hip book. Still, it's very sparse on the dialogue, but it is a thick book and it tells a story almost completely with pictures of the first migrants for, over the Bering Strait and this hunt that they're on after a mammoth herd and the struggles that they have. Very hip book, very different than anything I've read before in the comic sphere. Um, very few words, but a great story. And like I said, what it lacks in dialogue, it more than makes up for. And not only artistic storytelling, but you know, great artistic storytelling. It's not just every picture, every panel means something, and it's a beautiful looking book. Um, Red Before Black, number two. Kind of a Fast and Furious one. Fast and Furious vibes, convict. Um, Sent to infiltrate a criminal organization with the promise of clemency. Violent twists and turns, kind of dark, but still has a little bit of humor and a lot of action. Highly recommend. Red Before Black, Boom Studios. Wonder Woman number 13. It's a tie-in with Absolute Power, and it has a bonus Trinity story, which is kind of a different POV of the main story in the last issue. I'm digging it. Quite honestly, I haven't been following too much of the Absolute Power, so when we get these tie-ins, I'm a little bit lost, but it was still enjoyable from the outside looking in. And then we have Addiction, the death of your life. Um, she can drug people with her blood or with her touch. Um, I enjoyed number one, but the issue I had with number one, and now when I say issue, I mean me personally, it's not dogging the book, but it throws a lot of information at you without context and expects you to make a lot of leaps to figure out what's going on, which is, understandable for a number one. But I think if you're going to do a number one that way and number two, maybe slow down. Let's get the world established, what's going on. But number two, it felt kind of overwhelming because just as you're settling in for the story that you started in number one, it takes a whole different turn and adds new characters and new twists that really add nothing to the number one issue. So I probably will not be continuing with this series. Um, but like I said, if you're, it has good action, pretty good art, and it's just a whole lot of information. It's a little bit out there, so if you're into, eclectic storytelling, check it out. Show them some love. Addiction Comics. It's a smaller company, so go show them support if that sounds like something that is up your alley. Gunslinger Spawn. Javier's in a hospital, and he's kind of having flashbacks to his own life in his own time while he's dealing with the trauma from his last encounter with the police now that he's no longer has his spawn abilities. And so it's kind of a flashback addition that still adds a lot to the story. And I want to see where it goes from here. How long are dead zones going to be open? Will these spawns ever get their powers back? It's been very interesting. And then G.I. Joe, this was my favorite book of the night. A lot of progression, storytelling. There's a lot going on. I hopped on at I think 300, and we're at 310 now. And the last few issues have been this battle in Springfield, Missouri, on the Cobra um, compound. It's pretty much they took it over the city of Springfield, and it's a Cobra facility itself. And Serpentarcon, I think, is launching an attack on the city from Cobra Island. And while this is going on, you have a scout team of GI Joes off Cobra Island who just escaped, trying to get word back to GI Joe about what's going on. The attack is coming from Cobra Island and Serpentor to Springfield, and at the same time, you have another scout team in Springfield, that's caught up in this battle between Cobra. And at the same time, Destro has sent the Dreadnoughts and Baroness to see what's going on, and they've gotten caught up in this as well. And there are lots of great twists in here. A through line is one of the characters here. Let's see. Try not to do any cuts here, so you have to bear with me. Here we go. Dawn Moreno. She was a big part of this last few issues, and her family is a part of Cobra. And she was kind of sent into Springfield as a double agent, and she escaped, but she got found out. And while her parents were on the run, they got surrounded and taken out by the police. And she had to watch it live on surveillance. And so she is young and has a lot of feelings about revenge and anger, but she's dedicated herself to the work. And there's a pivotal point in the last issue where one of the cops who executed her parents was trapped in a car about to catch fire. And she has a moral dilemma. And what I like about it is that the Joes don't exactly tell her what to do. They know that's something that she's going to have to do on her own. Does she make the right decision? Does she not? What is the right decision? Find out in number 310. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But like I said, even though they have so much going on, each part of the story has its beats and has its through lines. And to tie into that, Baroness and the Dreadnoughts get overwhelmed, and she ends up getting gravely injured and kind of form a temporary alliance with the Joes and the Dreadnoughts. And we're finally introducing Destro. He's going to be feet on ground in this big battle. So it's been a very, very big issue. And we haven't even gotten to my favorite part, which I'm going to do an entire video on itself. So I highly suggest getting in on G.I. Joe right now. If you can, go back a few issues so you get to see what's going on and how we got here. Go to your local comic book store. And like always, if you do not have a local comic book store, check out my friend Jeff at coffeeandacomic.com in Huntington Beach. And if you're not in Huntington Beach, you can order via their website like I do. They have fast and safe shipping with great rates. And if you use the code OLDNERDWY, you get 15% off of your purchases. So go check them out. Until next time, keep reading them books and tell me in the comments what you are reading.